It's sunset, California coastal range. We are rockhounding. Yeah, beautiful evening. The elderberries are just blooming for the year. Spring's about halfway through. It came early and it will be leaving early. And this is our border field, our cobble field, our stone field. And it goes a long, long ways, but you don't even ever need to go that far. And one of the main things that we are hunting at this location, this is one of the main upper tributaries of Peter Creek. Oh, look at that. Chunk of jasper, a real layery piece. Pinks and greens. But we are here for this, it's a tuff. I call it rhyolitic tuff. I'm adding that rhyolitic on there because our large volcanoes were in the Cobb volcanic field, and we have Mount Canocti, which is a rhyolitic volcano. You know, that's this type of stuff it expews, it barfs out. And so we have every shade of rhyolite, andesite, yada yada yada. And this is actually bedded ash that has broke out of its bed, its layers. Ash landed compacted, turned into stone like a sediment, but from ash, and then got cobbled up by the rolling of the river. And we are looking for the ones that will have good landscapes in it, but that's how much tuff is in this, is all the little white pieces that you're seeing are actually it. But we want ones that have indications of mountain ranges, and that instead of looking extremely broken up and fractious like that, are smooth and more compact. And there's just a massive amount. There's also, here's a little one. It's little, but it's got the two tones in it. We'll take it. Okay, got the bucket. Got a little bucket because that's the bucket that we had. And there are, this is one of those gravel beds where I always get so excited I don't finish all my sentences. You may recognize this and that. There are different types of agate here also. So this is like a red piece of jasper slash quartz, microcrystalline creature with like a crevice infill here of mostly quartz, little bit of layer to it. Don't have the water. And then let's see what else. This could be cool. No big obvious cracks. That goes in the bucket. This one with the micro layers in here. So sometimes they can be real light on the outside, and when you cut them, all the lines darken up. Yeah, it does have some micro fractures all through this. That side looks better. Oh, I've only made it 10 feet. I feel like I should slow down and wait for good stuff. Maybe we should walk way out there and then collect on the way back. It's hard to do without looking down. That is a beautiful piece. There are different hills in it, different tones with a good sky exposure. I don't know, this part of this video might be a pretty quick part. In there with lots of layers in it. Literally just every half a foot. So at this point we're going to high grade. It's hard to force yourself to high grade, but there's the bucket, and we should. And now I'm just keeping my eyes out for the most crazy obvious agates, like laying face up. But I really came for the landscape stone. You never know how long you're going to be in any one location in life, so I was realizing that as I travel around, this stuff becomes more rare, and that I have a bunch of it right next to my house right now, so. And the time and opportunity to slab it up and high grade out of my findings piles. So, old pieces. Look how many different pieces there are. You could really just stop in any one spot and focus. I'm also going for shape because I wouldn't mind some bigger pieces, but of course you don't want to go thicker than your saw can cut, but long is okay. So keeping my eyes out for the perfect bread loaf. This one has some crazy patterns to it. I think we're going to take it. And I wouldn't be completely sure of which way to start on that, but you just take a slice off of your best guess of a side and see what's inside. Check the little ones too, they can have crazy little mountain ranges of them. And the stone is always overlooked because it's a chalky, sedimentary creature. Look at the different. So this is like a banded rhyolite. See all the lines running through it. And those actually end up looking really cool when cut too. It's a thin line between the compact silicate ashes of this and the lines of water created crevice-filled layers of silicate. They all end up being pretty beautiful. But actually I have a lot of that. I have a lot of that too, but that's what we came for. I feel bad for not showing how many other rocks there are here. I didn't even bring the spray bottle down because I didn't have it in the truck. Yeah, see, here's a loaf. Look at the swirls and curves in that. It's not too thick. I could actually force this through the saw. I just don't see extreme color on the outside. I would hope for a bunch of little, you know, the ideal piece is long like that so you can cut slabs out of it. And it's got mountain ranges to it. I'm not picking on you. I'm just saying we should pick carefully. But yes, there are a lot of other beautiful minerals here. To finish that sentence, that's why I decided before I walked down here what I was looking for, though, was so that I was only half as scatterbrained by the variety. It's the schooling effect. I'm a hunter, so it works on me. Need to just focus. It's pretty. Pretty not detailed. No, I'm just kidding. Some red mountains. I think we'll take that just because the red in it is a little more rare on this stretch. Yeah. To each their own, so this is what's calling out to me so far. That looks like goodness. It looks like we're high grading. It's like the sun is going down on us. It's that song. It's like the sun going down. Woo! Look at that. Look at that. Details. It's a quest for details. Let me know when I get cheesy. It's not easy being cheesy. Getting into this loafy zone, there's some that even almost have mountain ranges in it, bigger stuff. I mean, that one does. Set that there. We're surrounded, and yeah, it goes and goes and goes. So It goes for about 25 miles down to my house. Woo! Oh. Oh. Decisions. Hmm. 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 Oh. 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 Hmm. Your fancy's been tickled. I don't know what my fancy is, but perhaps. Oh. Now one's loaf here. There, we'll put some loaves in the bucket. Yeah. Yeah. It's not like you could have too many rocks. The berry area. We call it that because we're far enough out here to where if you start looking around, you will find bear poop with berries in it in the berry area. And they spend their days passed out in elderberry bushes like that. I hope there's a couple left. Life's hard on the wild animals these days in California and everywhere. Look at that. I don't know though. Maybe. Ah, that was fun. It's hidden in there. I think my gut's telling me that there's even more fantastic ones coming, but I feel like I should show you the plethora and the joy of this zone. For hunting these, I mean, it's like agates in Arizona or something. It's like just piles of eye candy once you realize how cool they are. And I do realize how cool they are. Oh. Oh. Wow. Wow. I think we this one because of its shape and yeah. I see a castle alone in the far desolate desert wastelands, perched on the red cliffs of a forgotten kingdom turned to dust. Okie dokie. We're back at the bucket. And we have could be's and possibles stacked near it. It's another trick because, well, these guys stay alive a long time on the leader, so you can go ahead and, you know, catch them for the day and then release the ones that you don't want. I think. Well, I think it's another possible. Walk those back to the bucket. This one's a possible too. Meaning, when we go to fill up the final load, we'll make our final decisions. Get much gravel. We're gravel rich. Okay, I was walking our possible loaf. This might be, well, darn it. How big is that fracture? Man, it runs. Or you'd still get the mesa. Anyhow, that was laying on the way back. Look at that. Just, that is fun. A little world in there. And just so you're clear, I'm calling this a wonderstone because it's the same sort of patterns and stuff, but it's not the sandstone that originally took that name and owns that name, which is to the south and just below me in the southwest of the United States, where they get sandstone layers that get stained by iron. This is volcanic ash in layers that has been stained by iron, and you can get the picture jaspers, which is a silicate content farther north of here, maybe around me, but I have not found them in this location. And so trust me, this is ash. This is tough. Even if it looks like what you're holding in your hand, you know, rocks can be a lot like mushrooms and plants. Even if they look like a thing in one place, they might not necessarily be that same thing somewhere else, no matter how sure you are. So I'm obsessing on landscapes, so all these really beautiful stripes that darkens up and can turn into just such crazy patterns when it's cut, but I'm going for the landscapes. So I'm leaving all that type of stuff. On the way back to the bucket, I am grabbing this piece, not because it is dramatically beautiful, which I think it is, but because this horizon that you see on this type of rock can be really confusing on the outside to know what you're going to get when you cut in on the inside. The swirls on the outside have nothing to do most of the time with what's just under the surface, but this you can see. Here's the darker material, runs all the way back, and then goes all the way along the bottom. So basically that pattern should continue all the way through it. So you could get a few matching slices. It would of course be smaller and smaller, but the same identical thing, and anytime you have duplicates it can look really cool, butterflied out, or oh, mosquitoes all over us. Okay, just gonna keep moving. I'm gonna keep moving faster now. All fractured up, see the fractures? Okay, let's actually walk a long ways back to the bucket and try and throw the horde off. They follow the air that comes out of your mouth. They follow carbon dioxide. So that's why you see herds of caribou like hold their breath and run for a quarter mile. Same deal. We're gonna do that now. Oh, look how far and how much. And we have just, again, barely scratched the surface. And must be where agate-like creatures pile up. Plenty more rhyolite. But these are those big, these are actually worth collecting and cutting because they have all this crazy pattern inside. It's all agate growth. It's just very crystalline and crazy shaped. Going this way and that way, there's like triangles. And then this is actually a big old crazy agate creature with orange around everything, around all the crevicing. Looks like darker something mixed in there. Really fractious, you can tell that. But look at the veins going through it. That's beautiful. That would probably hold together for some big slices. It would of course have holes through it. But I see continuous white and enough of it to actually stick. Beautiful. That is a big old agate, big old orange and white creature. We shall see. We are in the last 10 or 20 minutes here, but if you're enjoying the video, I might go back and cut a bunch of these on the saw because they cut really nice, really easy. They're a softer material and it's just really rewarding as the cutter. Well, it always is. And the amount of different patterns that are exposed can make cutting these types of rocks almost something that a kid could stand there and be excited about over and over and over. The kid in me definitely always is. Hunting wood is extremely beautiful to me. And then picking my favorite out of those. Yes, I think we'll take that one. It has the ghost images. This all darkens up, like I said. These are sun faded on the surface. On the inside, any indication that you see usually darkens up. And that one looks like mist is coming between the mountains, obscuring some of it. Ooh! See, that's a universal caveman noise. I bet you we've been making that for a long time, all over the world. That'll do. It goes in the shirt pocket till we get back to Bucket. Bucket! He's so far back there. Sorry, Bucket. How often have you done this? The belly sack, you know? Basically just need a huge one, like a kangaroo where I stuff all my rocks. I was gonna show you. I keep finding these little ones. I think we'll leave that one. But look at this one. And picked up this one. And picked up that one. Ooh, it's that crazy light where the camera won't autofocus. And we gotta work our way back. And our belly sack is getting full. Belly sack. Leave a comment below on how often you end up with a belly sack. The wind is blowing. It's been some kind of hot days in the spring that's getting kind of dry pretty quick. And it's nice to have that solar radiation off the skin. Yeah, and the wind is just picking up. I'm kidding. I like wind. I really like wind. It's exciting. Things are inside. I've been drawing these landscapes, these castles that I draw, since I was about 12, 13, 14, somewhere in there. The castlescapes that you see me do. And belly sack. And so it's just been recently that I started incorporating them into the landscape rocks, but the castles were something that I've always done, so I always had to draw ledges and landscapes, perfect spots first to put castles and then put them. So finding a stone that is kind of paper-like, easy to draw upon, and has landscapes in it already is just awesome. So I'm enjoying that. I hope you can hear me. I'm trying to talk fast and loud, which is not necessarily some of the things that I do well. Okay. Some of the colors coming through in these pieces are just, they're worth it just by the darkness and the, oh, I don't know how to describe it. It's a keeper. Our bucket's a little over full. I'm gonna have to release these. Okay. I'm sorry that you're gonna go get ground into sand and I can't bring you home and keep you safe and cherished. On your journey, little guy. Become a stone again someday in the great cycle. I have a free hand. You can come home with me. Okay, here we go. We got the detail camera, and we are going to go through these pretty quick here and show you what we got. Pretty crazy, right? That one. Okay, and there we are. There is quite the selection. I'm pretty excited about this. This is the piece that we picked up that looked like a loaf of bread with the valley running down it. But I'm also going to take a couple right now and draw on them. First, we have to sand everything down. It gets a couple different layers of grit of sandpaper going over the whole thing. That is the overall cut and selection of them. And yeah, all these came out of one piece. And we can do some cool things with these. I noticed that we can go like that. And make volcanoes. So I cut a couple of them to where they were flat. Here's our other one. Yep, and there's a couple saw blade scuffs because it has like an aluminum residue that it picks up on it, and that caused a little black smudge, but yeah, quite the piece there, right? Can you imagine? I can imagine, and I want to put that in a nice background all the way down. Look here, faces and textures in the mountains. this is how that one turned out. So this is with the GoPro, I can't zoom in super close. It's got the signature on there, and pretty happy with that. It's a full-on city there. So I'm gonna do one more and then we'll go lacquer these up. I have this lacquered now, so it's been slightly beveled around the edges and sanded, fine sanded, and then put the art onto it. This is one of my castlescapes I've been doing since I was about 14. I've always had to draw the little landscapes, so it's nice to have nature doing it for me, and I just have to do the castle worlds. And yeah, that's about the level of laminate that I'm going to go on there. It's actually got a fairly nice little shine to it. And then the back, raw still, slightly sanded, and then a signature on the back of each one. Probably going to make a whole video of just drawing a bunch of these. I thought we'd do a couple. We have a lot of blank slabs still that we can do. The before and the after on there. Love the landscape fun. Here's our other one. Kind of made two different stylizations of kingdom. They could even be opposing kingdoms or just different kingdoms that are trading and getting along, who knows. But yeah, again, that's another flat slab, signature on back, sanded, left raw, and then as you turn the corner, laminated the art so it's safe for all times. It's tricky to draw on this. That's one thing I will say, is it is tricky. The pores that are in here and just the roughness of it can move your little pen around or your little brush tip depending on what you're using, to the point where it's hard to do the little fine things and the straight lines and stuff. But we will be experimenting more and more with putting different artwork onto these stones. So I hope that you enjoyed this little wander, and I wanted to take it all the way through the steps of gather, cut, create. So yeah, I like that one. That one's fun. I'd live there. Okay, so that was that's what we did with those. I hope that you enjoyed, and if you did, please consider possibly joining me on another adventure, and remember to take care of yourselves. And if you get the chance, please take care of each other. And I'll see you on down the road.